Shavua Tov, a gute Woche. I would like to tell story number 117 of the Shivchei Shem Tov, the oldest compilation of stories, the oldest anthology of Baal Shem Tov stories ever published, as written by Rav Dover of Linitz. And the title of this week's story is haBaal Shem Tov Ripa Meshuga She'asa Atzmo Kemet. The Baal Shem Tov healed a Madman who feigned to be dead, who pretended to be dead. Begins Rav Dover first telling us a reference to last week's story where he heard it from, and then how he came to hear this week's story. He says, Ikar HaMaaseh, the main part of the story that we told last week, the previous story, I heard from the mouth of Rav Moshe, the son-in-law of Rav Yaakov Yosef of Polnoi's sister. And I heard from the mouth of the Mochiach himself, the Mochiach of the Kehillah, when he was in the Kehillah of Nemirov. So these are two sources. And I also heard, later heard the story from Rav Yosef, the son of Rav Moshe, who is son of Rav Yechiel of the community of Polnoi. Rav Yechiel of Polnoi's grandson, Rav Yosef, exactly as I wrote it. So the version that we told last week is exactly how Rav Yosef, grandson of Rav Yechiel of Polnoi, told the story. I heard other versions of the story. So this could have been a popular story, a story about the speech of the Mochiach in Lemberg. But once came to spend Shabbos and lodged by the Rav of the community, by Rav Gedalia of Linit, Rav David, the Magid Misharim of the Kehillah of Tulchin, who was grandson and great-grandson of the Tzaddik Rav David Forkesh. So from two different sides of the family, this Rav David of Tulchin was a great-grandson of Rav David Forkesh, who was a very close disciple of the Baal Shem Tov. So I asked him about the story, and he told me that, and an additional story. And that's how we come to this week's story. Long introduction just to how he came to hear it. There was a man who brought his crazy son, his insane son, to the Baal Shem Tov with the purpose of having the Baal Shem Tov heal him. Unlike today's doctors, who probably only prescribe some medications and keep the patient more or less stable, the Baal Shem Tov was actually able to heal patients of madness. But when this father was bringing his son to the Baal Shem Tov, he was about a parsa away from Mezhibush, a parsa, a league, a couple of miles, and his son's madness started getting worse, and suddenly he pretended to be dead. What did the father do? He brought him to the city for burial. If he's dead, he placed him in the Ezras Nashem, in the women's gallery of the Shul of Meshibush, and called the Chevra Kadisha to do a tahara, to perform the ritual washing of the body when it's going to be buried. The Baal Shem Tov earlier that day had told the Sofer, his personal scribe, Rav Tzvi, today we are going to beat up or give a lash to a dead person. The idea is that we don't bury somebody before we verify that the body is indeed dead, that is not, as in this case, pretending to be dead, or maybe in a catatonic or paralyzed state, or in coma or something, that still alive, you don't bury, you keep the person alive. So the Baal Shem Tov says we're going to beat up or give a lash to a dead person, meaning you do something to see how the body reacts. The test is like this. Somebody who is truly dead, the body has no resistance. If you give a lash, there is like a wave in water that goes through the body. There is no resistance whatsoever. If somebody is still in control of his body and he pretends to be dead, he will be stiff, will hold on to any such impact because he's pretending to be dead. And because there is not a wave through the body, just pretending, you realize he's holding and he's alive. This is a test. So the Baal Shem Tov says we're going to hit a dead person, meaning we're going to test if the body is really dead. When they brought the Mishiganer, they brought the crazy man, the Baal Shem Tov told the Sofer, take an erakta di mesani. This is an Aramaic, Talmudic Aramaic expression, a leather strap that they used to tie shoes with. And you go to the shul and tell the people of the Chevra Kadisha to get out. And then order that this Madman be given a lash, the test, boom, to see how he reacts. And so he did. And the Madman did not get up and did not move. So it's not like he reacted to wake up from his madness, but also kept the game that he's dead. The Baal Shem Tov ordered that he be taken to a house and locked up there and held there until Pesach. And it was about 3 weeks before Pesach. The first night of the Seder, the first night of the Seder of the first night, rather, the first meal of Pesach, the Baal Shem Tov ordered that the man be sat down at a table and propped up with pillows and tied up in a certain position that he will be standing, he will be sitting, and he was assigned a certain person, a man that would do for him everything that needed to be done, whether it was to eat or to drink, but to also watch that he shouldn't run away. For it would be hard to find, if he runs away. And so he did. They did exactly what the Baal Shem Tov said. They sat him at the table with the pillows and gave him, and even though he's pretending to be dead, he still eats and drinks, obviously. By the time of the third cup of wine, there are 4 cups, right, by the Pesach Seder. So the third cup, which is right after the meal, he couldn't hold it anymore. He jumped up and ran away. And it says that they went looking for him at let. Like, they didn't run desperately. They went here and there looking for him until they found him. And the Baal Shem Tov healed him. And that's the story. This is what this Rav David of Tulchin told Rav Dov of Linitz. This is the story of the Baal Shem Tov healed a madman who pretended to be dead. Don't know what else to take of the story, but this is this week's. I'm in the process of translating all the stories of the book and telling them here in English and in Spanish, 2 separate videos from Hebrew, and making all my notes and trying to make sure the story is as accurate as possible. I do appreciate all the contributions and help that I get. Links in the description. And please give a like, subscribe, share, and come back next week for another Baal Shem Tov story. As always, our prayers for all our soldiers who are confronting this very difficult situation the past 3 weeks, and for 3 months rather, and all those who are affected by the situation, and prayers for the hostages to be safely brought back home. May Hashem bless and keep everybody safe. Shavua Tov, a gute Woche.